I don't think Suikoden 4 is divisive. I think Suikoden 4 is outright hated. Divisive means it's polarizing and like people love or hate the game. 3 is divisive. I don't think 4 is divisive. I think 4 is more so 4 is more so hated. So I'm also going to be looking forward to seeing what I think of it. Granted, if a game is hated, does that mean no one can like it? No, that's not what that means. That just means it's like FF10-2, right? FF10-2, I love that game. It's a hated game though. Like FF10-2, the general consensus is a lot of people don't like it. Shadow Hearts from the New World, the same thing. Divisive is more so like mixed, hit or miss. So games like, I think Suikoden 3 would be more divisive than 4. I see a lot more negativity on 4 than I do like divisiveness. That's not to say people can not like the game. There are people who probably like the game because opinions are ever changing. Like you obviously can't say a game. Someone could like Lufia Runes of Lore, for instance. Like that game sucks, but there could be people who like it. There you go. Also, you played every Suikoden game, woman. Nice. Good job. Played all of them. Did you play some of the spin-offs, like, Tear Cries and, one that got English translated? Or Tactics? Suikoden Tactics? Have you played every Suikoden game? Also, Ayuden Chronicle? Ayuden Chronicle is awesome. That game is also fairly divisive. That one's more mixed than divisive. Oh, I do. I recommend Ayuden Chronicle. If you liked Suikoden 1 and 2, I definitely recommend it. The story isn't Suikoden 2 levels of great, but everything else in Ayuden Chronicle, like, so much care was put into it. There, look, this festival is a celebration of an abundant harvest and an expression of gratitude to the goddess Sadie. You know a lot about it, how so? I should, I was born here. Were you, though? Is that so? I never knew that. Not much to tell, really. My, if it isn't a little Percy from Main Street, I mistook you for some VIP words. How have you been, Mom? Mum? How have you been, Percy, my baby? You look so regal. So regal. Who is this lady? Is she your... Oh my, she looks familiar. I have to make the rounds and say hello to everyone. You should try some sightseeing. There are fields beyond the hills over there, and the breeze is very pleasant this time of year. But do be careful. If they find out who you are, you'll be mobbed. Thanks for the warning, Percy. Certainly, my lady. Anyway, the only thing Ayuden Chronicle is a bit weak with, but I don't think it's bad, is the story. Everything else that people hate on with Ayuden Chronicle, I'm just like, what are you talking about? The game's great. I don't even hate the story. I just think the story is, like, not the strong suit. I think it's, like, fine. It's decent, I guess. But everything else in Ayuden Chronicle is just so great. It has some fun characters, really fun recruitments. Pretty good minigames for the most part, and then also the combat system feels like Suikoden 1 and 2, but like a little more evolved. And it's got a pretty fun rune system. It's got a lot going for it. It's got so much going for it. Like, the story isn't the best, but like it's so much more. Like everything else in Ayuden Chronicle, it feels like so much care was put into the game. Thank you so much. Everywhere I went, no one bothered with me because they couldn't diagnose my illness. I can't believe you came all this distance to help me. May the spirits bless you. That's true. Suikoden 2 is a story masterpiece. Your health is our reward. To save a life is a special experience. It doesn't happen every day. Right, Miss Mio? Yes, Dr. Chuda. Like, I'm gonna say this, right? You look recruitable, by the way. Suikoden 2 is the best story in Suikoden so far, of the ones I played. Of the 3 I played, Suikoden 2 is the best story. But I like Eiyuden Chronicle more as a video game than Suikoden 2. And that's not to knock on Suikoden 2. I just like Eiyuden Chronicle as a game more. But the story in Suikoden 2 is better than Eiyuden Chronicle. Please, you needn't call me a doctor. I'm still in training. And what would you like me to call you, mister? Well, that doesn't sound right either. Well, take care of yourself since we're already way out here. We're going to visit the nearby villages and treat the sick. Coming, Miss Mio? Yes, Dr. Chuda. And Suikoden 1's like a really good first entry to a series. And when you look at it at that lens, it's pretty good. Well, it's a good game if you look at it like that, but you know. Excuse me, but are you doctors? Yes, we're from the Dunen. We're from the Dunen. I'm Chuda. This is my nurse over here, Miss Mio. Are you guys NPCs that weren't stars in Suikoden 2? Because they do that a lot in this game. Lily was one of them. Pleased to meet you. I'm in training while traveling with the doctor. So what are your future plans? I do like that about Suikoden 3. They're using characters that were super minor in 2 and making them like stars of destiny, like they did with Lily. Tuda, I know. I remember Tuda from Suikoden 2. But Mio? I can't say I remember Mio. I know Mio from Eiyuden Chronicle, but that's a different character entirely. Old Zexen and Grassland have areas that lack modern medicine. We'd like to bring our skills to these people. If that's the case. Yeah, Tuda I remember. I remember you from Suikoden 2. Your name looked familiar and your design looks... You just look older. Sounds like a remote place like Buddha Hut Castle could use better medicine. But before I end up there, I'd like to stop off at other needy villages near here. That makes sense. Why don't you go on ahead to Buddha Hut Castle to set things up? I'll meet you there after I've made my rounds. That's fine with me, but will you be okay by yourself? I'll be fine unless I get a major surgery to perform, like we had today. Don't get me wrong, you're not a valuable asset, and I'm not sloughing? What? You brought it up, so I'm actually gonna second that. I feel like the translation in this game sometimes has had some misses. Like sometimes, like he said the Dunen instead of from Dunen. That's just like a extra typo, but you know, translation could be better at times. I like more than enough times have I noticed an awkward sentence. Aren't there monsters to contend with out here on the plains? Not to worry, I'm tougher than I look. I fought in the Dunen army, you know? Yeah, see, that made more sense. In the Dunen army. That's slightly reassuring, but keep your eyes peeled. Of course, well, could you please give Miss Mio the directions to the castle? I'm off to the next village in need. Sure, I understand. Good luck and safe travels. Mio to join the Stars of Destiny. Okay, cool. But yeah, Tuda from Suikoden 2. I didn't really use Tuda in Suikoden 2, or Tuda wasn't... Tuda playable? I don't remember. I remember Tuda. I don't remember if Tuda was a star, though. Tuda might have just been an NPC like Lily Pendragon. As for what I'm going to do... Let's go, not in there. What's here? Lottery, huh? Oh, lottery? Okay, I don't care. Let's go to the blacksmith. I love watching this. Come on, Lady Knight, have a sword tempered. Hi, Gentle Knight, come to see the festival? Maybe I did. Okay, we gotta upgrade your weapon because you're the only party member. Oh my word, chat, look at my money. I'm almost at 300k pot. That's insane. Alright, Chris, now you're all powerful. Yeah, Hugo does start broke compared to Chris. Chris has so much money. And even Godot. Well, with Godot, we fought that crab and it got us a lot of money. But with Hugo, we got like nothing. We gotta like manage our money. I don't know, but yeah, translation, it's not like terrible because I don't think a super bad translation, unless you're, I don't think a translation like Wild Arms 2, because people say the translation Wild Arms 2 isn't great, but I don't necessarily agree. But like, I don't think I think it's hard for a translation to ruin the game. It would just have to be like borderline, you would just have to like play the game and be like, did I understand the story? And if you didn't, then the translation failed at its job. But if there's a few hiccups, it's like, whatever. It doesn't matter that much. It doesn't matter that much if there's like a few hiccups in your translation. Because like Xenogears Wild Arms Ultra Code F also has some translational hiccups. But like, you know, if you played the game and you did not understand like the story, if you felt confused with the story and the game's translation wasn't the best, then the translation failed. But if you're like me, Wild Arms Ultra Code F, Wild Arms 2, I played the stories and I understood the stories and I love those games, then the translation being the way they are isn't that big a deal. Is what it comes down to. When the weather's bad, the windmill spins so fast it's almost scary. Today's the weather nice, so it's nicely beautiful. Do you remember when people were complaining about Eden Chronicles translation? I played that game and I was like, what on earth are you talking about? Like, I was blown away when I saw people saying Eden Chronicles translation was messy, and I was like, what is wrong with it? Is it just the fact that they're like more like the choice of words they use, or is it just the translation being bad? I don't understand what it is. It's crazy. You go for certain endings? I'm trying to get every Star of Destiny. That's kind of it. That's all I try to do when I play these games. Or are you just talking about games in general? But in this game, I'm just trying to get all the Stars of Destiny, so true ending. Alright, wait, there is a, speaking of Stars of Destiny, there's a Star of Destiny here. I think Lion reminded me of this. We needed 100,000 pot for something. And I think that character should be around here? According to this guide I'm looking at. It should be near the entrance of Ixay. Should be like a, there should be like a dude here, according to what I'm reading. Oh, east side of Ixay Village. Near the front east side of Ixay. That's all I got. Do I want help? I mean, if you know about the Star of Destiny I'm trying to refer to, then yeah, you can tell me, because I want to get all the Stars of Destiny, and the sooner I get them, the better. I didn't want to use a guide, but I think I kind of... Maybe not need to, but I think I kind of should. I think I kind of should, so we don't have to backtrack too much. Like, if I'm looking for something, and you know exactly what I'm trying to look for according to the guide I'm using, then yeah, you can tell me, because the less trips back, the better. Alright, I'm near the entrance. Do I have to go inside this house? Oh, he's right here. He's so hidden. What the heck? What is it? Yo, he looks dope. How about joining us? He was so hidden, you can't turn the camera, I couldn't see him. Join you? Don't you mean you'll hire me? I'll consider it for 100,000 pot. Yeah, so this is probably what Lion meant by needing 100,000 pot. I can manage that, I'm rich. There you go. Good, what have I joined? Fight for us, at least until the war's over. Fine. Whatever. Yo, he looks so sick! He looks so awesome. He's like that one ninja girl, Kasumi from Suikoden 2, except looks really cool. Alright. So, we got Watari. So, do I have to go back to Salome to swap party members in? This is an actual question. Like, if I want to swap them in, right? If I want to put them in the party, do I need to go back to Brass Castle to do that? I do. That's really annoying, but whatever, I'll deal with it. Alright, we got him. I'm trying to recruit a lot with Chris, because Chris is on her own. There's someone else we can recruit, but we need another party member, so... Not gonna worry about that right now. There are a couple more recruits we can do, and again, we need them with Chris. We really need them. Our chapter 2 is the hardest because we only had, like, for most of the part, we only had, like, 2 party members most of the time. I had to recruit those 3 circus troupe people. Alright, so we need to go, there's a child in the item shop, and then also we can go back to Mio and talk to Mio. This Gordon person we can't recruit until we have another party member. We need another male party member. Just the item shop. It's the blacksmith. Item shop's here, maybe? Chris, what are you doing? Thank you. Pale Gate. Wasn't this a rune in Suikoden 2? I think it was. Alright, I think we're good now. We can move on. I will say Suikoden 3, I think, has... Well... It probably has one of the better soundtracks of the Suikoden games I played. I do like some of Eiyuden Chronicles' battle themes, but I think overall soundtrack, Suikoden 3's OST caught my attention the most so far. Or it has caught my attention the most.